Welcome back to Freestyle Battle Series for our second show of the official league and our second continuation of the first championship bracket. This is Jackson Massaros commentating alongside Ike Toussaint in the booth at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. As we look at the track, this is the one that was used in SSRS back in 2014. As you can see, it still holds up to modern standards quite well, but the size of the obstacles has sort of settled down from the NAMT track of last week, with plenty of floor space in the middle, which should keep the momentum flowing quite well for the drivers this stop.
Yes, indeed, Jackson. East Rutherford is going to be seeing the likes of Trevor Michaelesco versus Tyler May, as well as Ewan Ford versus Preston Perez, Ike Toussaint versus Tyler Richmond, Devin Dunlap versus Kai, Dominic Hocutt versus Sean Romo, and Blake Thompson versus Brandon Adams tonight on the card. And, you know, some of these matches are going to be the exact same as they were always intended, but some of the names I brought up are replacements for the other drivers that just couldn't make it today, while others are going to be going completely alone. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite a show for you here tonight. It's Freestyle Battle Series, round 2 of the championship tournament.
And here we are with the first run of the night. Devin Dunlap in Axe getting ready to come out here and give us a show, kicking off tonight with what we hope to see be an incredible run. He is lining up, actually. He's going to give us something pretty big here. Eager to find out what that is as he gets some throttle into it, and he gets some pretty nice air, landing clean in the center of the arena. Whipping around, drifting towards the little car stack. Gets another nice little bit of air. Gets the backside of those jammers too. Drifting around again. Doesn't have heavy momentum going for him right now, but that's just fine. He's getting a feel for the track. That's what every good driver should do if they aren't familiar with it. He actually got the address wrong in terms of where he was supposed to be earlier. So, he might have been unprepared, but he seems to be adapting pretty well already with some nice little sky wheelie action. Coming around again, he goes for some air off the launch ramp, throwing that into a slap wheelie, landing it back on all four wheels after getting onto one wheel. Hopping over the yellow car stack and whipping it around to go for the green van stack. Got a minute left now. He's drifting around looking for the next possible hit he can take. And he goes for the back end of the backflip. What would we call that? The backflip pod, since there's more jumps attached to that. Then going for the little mount at the other end of the arena, going for some more air across the back. Yeah, let's just call it the backflip pod. Crawling over the ramps again, and he is filling time pretty well after all. He's got 30 seconds left now. Doesn't have to be too explosive. I mean, this is already going to get him a decent lead against his opponent. Whipping it into donuts, gets a little caught up before he hits that wall. Good reflexes, though, to slow down in time. Getting a little more air, and his time is just about up. Throwing it into a reverse donut to close out the run with this little sky wheelie. Ripping it into reverse again, and that is time. A pretty nice run from Devin Dunlap in Axe. As we wait for the judges' scores, we have a 7, a 7.5, and it's going to be a 7.5, and that is indeed going to be a score of 32 for Devin Dunlap. And here is Devin Dunlap again with his second run. We are seeing him take another go at it as we wait to hear from his opponent. He's got another chance to shoot his score up into the higher stratosphere. Going for some more air off of that big ramp now that he's been able to get a freestyle in. I see more brave maneuvers from him. A nice little slap wheelie that he rides across the floor of the arena. Going for that car, 3 rows of cars. And then going into the jammer, comboing it up nicely with that rear wheel, getting into a little bit of trouble, spinning it around and around and around. Can he save it? Can he save it? Oh, he sleeps at the wheel, and an RII puts him out of it. He had a chance to recover there, but he wasn't able to really react in time. Now we just wait to see what the judges have to say about that. Tough luck for him, though. He was getting a lot of momentum building up there, too. With a 4, a 3.5, and a score of 3, the base score comes out to a 10.5, and with the time filled, 14.5 for Devin Dunlap in X to close out his 2 runs here, and our opening freestyle of the night.
And on to the next match we go with Tyler May driving a different paint job of Avenger from what we saw in the pre-show. It looks like a forest green paint job with some warm colored flames. Very nicely done. And he's just going right onto the track, hitting all the obstacles he sees. Not a bad strategy at all. As we've seen last week, one thing you want to try and do is fill the clock. That is oh so important. And I've got to say, he's got some very good momentum going so far, as he's filled 30 seconds of the clock. And there is no shortage of variety in the obstacles he's hitting right now. He's just going for every single incline and set of cars and all that on the track, with some nice air to go with it. And he's just going to continue on, not losing any momentum at all. But if he really wants to seal a victory, he is going to have to put in some of that wow factor, like a nice save or something you'd see in Best Trick. Looks like he has about a minute into the clock. God, the momentum he has is very nice right now. Looks like he's hit almost everything out here on every single angle. Oh, bumps into the wall a little bit. That is going to cost his momentum. So now might be the time to pull out one of those great tricks, as he has 30 seconds left on the clock. And it looks like he might be losing some of that airtime as well. Puts it onto the rear tires over the bus stack. Yeah, looks like he's getting a little bit lost. 10 seconds left on the clock. He has room for about one more move, and that's going to be towards the backflip pod, with some very nice rotation into a moonwalk just towards the other obstacle. As he fills time, he might be able to pull off an amazing save here. Not quite. That's going to put him right on the lid, as Tyler May has just filled the time with a pretty decent run. But Trevor does still have some room to capitalize on Tyler here. And as the scores are coming in, he's going to receive a score of 8, one score of 8.5, and one score of 7.5. So our base score so far is going to be 24 points. And as he filled the clock, that is going to give him 10 extra points. So that should be a score of 34. Actually, a very nice score. So that is not going to be that easy for Trevor to beat. Now onto the track comes Trevor Michaelesco in Carolina Crusher. Just seems to be turning around all the obstacles, seeing what he wants first. Starting off with a nice big hit over the lonely dirt mound in the corner, into a combo over the yellow and blue van stack. Yeah, I can already tell he's going a little bit more wild than Tyler. Oh! That is not how you want to steer those tires.
Ooh.
And he's got shut off here.
Rough.
Oh my goodness. He's mad. You can see that. He's not happy about how that run turned out. Only a few seconds into the clock, as the scores are going to come in shortly. It looks like he got 20 seconds into his freestyle. So now with the scores coming in, he's going to receive 3.5, 1.5, and as our last score comes in is 3. And with time, the total score is going to be 10 points for Trevor Michaelesco and Carolina Crusher this round 1. Moving right on to round 2, it's going to be Trevor Michalesko taking another chance at this track. Hopefully he can defeat Tyler May. Oh, he's going to start just right with a slam flip. Very well done. Lands it directly on all 4 tires. And just sort of high-siding at the fan stack, seemingly on accident. Up into a flat spin as well. Very nicely done. But hopefully he can start hitting these straight on so that he doesn't flip once again. Like, that's not something you want to do. You don't want to get too cocky and complacent with... Oh! And he's just going to do a forward backflip as well, right onto the rear end into a moonwalk. This does not seem to be freestyle anymore. He's... At this point, I don't know what he's doing, but he's just... That takes a lot of skill, we know. But he is going to have to start putting some real effort into the momentum of his run. And it looks like he is starting to do that. He's already filled 1 minute of the clock with just the tricks. He just absolutely doesn't care. He's going to do whatever it takes to wow the judges through and through. Into a barrel roll? A double barrel roll? Very hard hit on the front end, actually. Into the wall. Onto his lid. He's been shut off already. That is going to finish the run for Trevor Michalesko. And with the scores coming in, that is going to be 6.5, 6, and 7. Our base score is 19.5, and with time, that is going to result in 26.5 points for Trevor Michalesko in round 2.
Alrighty, here we are again with Tyler May. I am back in the booth, and we are watching him make his second freestyle attempt against his opponent, Trevor Michalesko. Now, Trevor Michalesko had some bad luck, and it seems like victory might be out of reach. I believe the current situation here is just a secured win for Tyler May, since his regular score seems to already put him at an advantage, and having filled already so much of the clock, there's the announcement 30 seconds in. Everybody in the pits is just celebrating for Tyler May because he's just clinched this victory against Trevor Michalesko. So tough luck for that up-and-comer, but now we get to see Tyler May do some more freestyle for us because he's not going to give it a rest. He's just going to keep going until he's satisfied. And he goes for those jammers. He's already putting out a pretty interesting freestyle and goes for another jammer on the side of the bus ramp, throwing that into a nice slap wheelie, riding it across and over the red car stack, drifting around to get onto the center ramp and getting some more air off of the backflip pod. Going for the jammer again. Oh, having a little bit of trouble here, stuffing one of the tires across the side of that, rips it, but he's able to recover by using smart and controlled calculations. Now he's got 30 seconds left. He's coming around on that green van stack, crawling over it, doing the same here, running the truck into the backflip ramp, but using 2 wheels to stay on control. Another little nosedive. He's just absolutely tearing it up. I don't think he has any sense of direction anymore. He's just gunning it and making sure he stays on all 4 wheels. 10 seconds left. He's going to go for a backflip for you fans. And here he goes, throwing it into a nice backflip, riding that into a moonwalk onto 1 wheel. Can he save it from here? I don't know if he can. He can. And that's time. Nicely done for Tyler May, an Avenger, securing that win over Trevor Michalesko in style. As we wait for the judges' scores to come in, we have an 8, and the next score coming in is going to be an 8.5. And having filled a clock, that's going to be an extra 10 points. So you have a 34.5 total score for Tyler May, an Avenger. Congratulations to him after an amazing run to follow up and clinch that victory.
All
and
right.
Here he goes.
He has been lurking in the shadows for quite a while here, but he's going to start big with some nice air off the jammer.
Pretty nice. You can tell his suspension's a little limp there. I don't know if that's a default setup or not, but...
already in trouble. Flipping over in the middle of the track. And he's going to save it. Nice job.
Nicely done. Yep, that is incredible. Nice recovery there from Dominic Hokut.
Yes, quite lucky though. He better keep the truck on all 4 tires. 30 seconds in. He hasn't hit very many obstacles so far, so he's going to need to find something quick. And here he goes into
Some
even
more trouble.
Yes, but he does manage to save it on all 4s once again.
Drifting around, lining up for another hit. The truck doesn't seem to be getting a lot of traction here. It seems to over-rotate every chance it gets and get some huge air!
Oh man, nice air.
Excuse me? I believe we saw the appearance of another competitor. I wasn't sure if that was it. Sorry for the distraction there, folks.
Hopefully he can get some more direction for this second half of the freestyle, as he has
Whoa.
1 minute in right now.
Some more nice air. He's starting to get into some high-flying territory, that's for sure. Going over that yellow van stack into a nice little slap wheelie.
Oh, losing control once more. He
Oh.
is not going to be able to pull off a sidewalls there. As he shut off, that is going to end the freestyle. So with 30 seconds left on the clock, that's 90 total seconds filled, our base scores are going to be 6.5, 6, and 6. And the total score for Dominic's round 1 performance is 26 points. Pretty solid score right there, but there's still quite a bit of room for his opponent to take home the victory against him and move on in the bracket if he can compete.
Back again with Dominic Hokut as he goes for the second freestyle of his matchup. Crawling over that van stack, getting onto the front wheels, a little bit of trouble. A nice bounce recovery though. Good to see him back in action so soon after his last run.
Oh, he's going into the same rollover he did to start his previous freestyle, but he's not going to be able to get out of it this time. Yet another
unfortunate
ending for Dominic Hokut. 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock. That's 25 seconds filled.
We see a 2.5, a 2.5, and a 2. And it's going to be 2.5 extra points for a total score of 9.5 for Dominic Hokut. Here we are, folks, with the next matchup of the night. We have Preston Perez up against Ewan Ford. Preston Perez and Twisted Addiction starting us off tonight with some nice air and a nice little follow-up over the backflip pod. Could be considering this a little bit of a rematch from last week, since we saw the same matchup between the two of them, so this will be only even more appropriate than some nice air off the far ramp. Doesn't quite clear the car stacks, though he does get a nice combo on the backside of the big ramp. He whips it around now to get some more air, landing nicely in the center of the floor, following that up with another little crawl over the yellow van stack, revisiting that farthest little jump, and goes over the green van stack now, riding it into a little bit of a wheelie, crawling again. Hasn't been giving us a lot of high-flying action, but he's been pretty much in control. Perhaps he's trying to, you know, play up his survival, right? And oh, here he goes into a weird backflip barrel roll or something. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to call that, but that was a pretty nice maneuver. Probably not what he was looking for, but he was able to make it work with some sharp reflexes coming over that yellow car stack, and he goes for the backside of that big ramp again with the rear wheels locked in the opposite direction. Gets another bounce though to be able to recover. Getting some more air off that launch ramp though. I think he has a messed up wheel. His truck kind of shivers in midair, rolling a little bit from side to side. He's just kind of out of control at this point, just trying to ride it all out, giving us some more insanity. Saves it there with a nice recovery. And that is going to be time for Preston Perez and Twisted Addiction as he bounces that front and lands it clean on the floor. As you can see that rear left tire just dipping from being out of air. And as the scores come in, we're seeing a 7.5, an 8.5, and an 8. Yes, that is going to be a score of 32.5 for
After a very nice run from Preston Perez, here comes Ewan Ford and Boomer, and he's going to start on the biggest ramp on the whole track, that bus stack, for some nice air, and he gets it pretty good.
Starting time, right?
Yeah.
Pretty good start. Going for some more over the backflip pod.
Into a little wheelie over those buses as well. We'll start to see him hit some different obstacles here as he continues to run with some more big air over the triple, and he clears it. Just completely clears it. Off the backflip pod again. 30 seconds into the freestyle now. Here it goes for the jammers. Nice job into a slap wheelie, gets a lot of elevation of the front end and rolls right over the triples.
Very technical this time from Ewan Ford.
That's right. He's going to keep going here, hitting the dirt mound once again. Halfway done with the freestyle. To the fan stack at a little bit of an angle, but he keeps it on all fours still. Yeah, from our last show, these drivers know not to take these tracks lightly and not to get too sort of footloose out there. They need to fill the clock. They need to keep momentum going. Into a donut for Ewan Ford. Over the bus stacks once again for some more good air. Oh, into a backflip, pretty short range. Sort of a corkscrew out of that. Nice job from Ewan Ford. His run is coming down to the wire now as he's struggling to find something to hit straight on. Oh, man. Oh my goodness.
Nicely done.
Just like Trevor Michalesco did, a forward backflip off of the buses. And that is going to be time, but he's still going to keep going.
More. Huge air.
And that'll be it for Ewan Ford and Boomer. Luckily filling his freestyle time this time around.
This is a different Ewan Ford we're seeing this time, as he's come with more activity and just more on his mind. We got an 8.5, an 8, and an 8. Filling the clock, it's 34.5, giving Ewan Ford a lead over Preston Perez. As we see what happens in this next second half of the matchup. Ewan Ford, look at that! Nicely done!
Yeah, some more big air to start his next run here in Boomer. This is going to be round 2 this time. So he's going to have to add on to his already very good score of 34.5 from what we've seen earlier. And he seems to be using more of the obstacles already. That's a good sign. Into a slap wheelie as he goes on to the next obstacle. A cross thread off of the end of the triples into a combo over the jammers. He's taking the track pretty good now. But he still has a lot of time left on his hands, so he needs to use it really well if he wants to secure a decent victory over Preston. 30 seconds in so far. Oh man, he seems to have sort of spun the back end off of the jammers. Now he's a minute in with the clock. Yeah, he's going for some more interesting angles and landings. Looks like he's getting some more donuts now.
Nicely done.
Into the backflip pod.
Oh.
Yeah, he looks like he needed the actual ramp for a lot of that rotation, but he makes it onto all fours nonetheless.
Almost looked like he was going to under-rotate for a second there, too. And whoa!
Yeah, oh. It looked like he was about to go for another one off the triple, but he stopped himself. He does not want to flip. And I do not blame him one bit.
All the Here he goes again.
Oh my gosh, he rotates it to the side a little bit.
Ooh.
Not too hard of a landing on the rear tire, so he's not going to be shut off right now. And he has 10 seconds left, but he's rolling over into the wall.
Oh.
And that is going to shut him off right now. He lands it on all fours. And yes, he lands it on all fours, and he clears the clock. Fills the clock, I mean. Ewan Ford in Boomer. And the scores are going to come in right now. It's going to be 8.5, 8, and 8. Yes, the exact same scores as his last run. That's going to give him 34.5 points for round 2. Much more interesting match between Preston and Ewan this week.
And here we are again with Preston Perez giving a similar start to Ewan Ford, getting off that launch ramp, bouncing and comboing that right into the green van stack, starting his time in style. Going off of that yellow car stack and going for the backside of that ramp. Oh, it looks like he has a little bit of trouble getting off of that. Is he stuck? That's what I'm wondering. And the truck gets back onto all fours. It looked like the rear wheelie bar got jammed in there as he fills in 30 seconds of his clock.
Yes, that could take a lot of time away from his freestyle. Precious time. But he's going to keep it going for all the obstacles once again. And he seems to have warped the front sway bars, just some cosmetic damage, as far as we're concerned. Oh man, taking a
see what he does here.
taking
in midair. Uh-oh.
That is a huge risk.
But he's in control.
And he's been shut off.
But it's going to be a late RII from the officials.
And it looks like the officials agree with you. We are going to keep him going for the rest of the time if he can feel that.
Nosedive. Now Preston is going to still try to have to pull out an insane freestyle with the remaining minute he has left. As he goes for a backflip, under rotates. Oh my! Getting a awkward landing. He's going to try again.
And just lands it right on the yellow vans.
Nicely done.
And he did get shut off, which took away even more of his momentum. But there's no telling whether or not this is going to beat Ewan's freestyle performance from both rounds.
Right, as I was trying to say, he's going to need a perfect or a huge freestyle moment as he goes to the side of that van. Ooh, very rough. And that is unfortunately going to be time. I don't believe that's going to be what it takes. Preston Perez might not be happy with the results of that freestyle, but we have to see what the judges have to say. As the judges' scores come in, we see an 8, and an 8.5, and we know he filled the clock, so that's going to be a 34.5, just putting him, I believe, 2 points under Ewan Ford in his total.
Action.
And here we go. Blake Thompson. Whoa!
Oh my goodness! Wow, okay. Blake coming on quite strong with a very clean barrel roll to start off the night in Hysteria. We've seen his performance last week. He didn't manage to beat Trevor Michaelesco, but he is coming back in place of, I think, Max Halpert. And
yes, that should be it. Max Halpert is out right now.
yeah, last week he did show his prowess despite not filling the clock first time out. Like, just look at him go. He's getting some very good momentum even after that barrel roll. That could be pretty jarring, and he's just chugging along the track. What is he going to do?
Indeed he is.
Oh,
Whoa.
Sideways hit on the jammer, but he lands it nonetheless.
Comboing it up over that van ramp, going over that far ramp as
Ooh.
well. Ooh.
Into a wheelie off of that.
Nice, nice, and he's riding it out and just staying in control as he kind of rolls over that ramp.
Yeah, the thing about big dogs like Blake Thompson is they just know how and where to inject the momentum they need to do what they want to do.
Whoa!
Oh my good. He's just walking the front tires along the track.
And I have to say, the physics behind this truck, it almost feels like the
Whoa!
miniature.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying to say, it feels like the miniature RC monster trucks you see at the shows every now and then. Like, this truck just does everything he commands it to. Oh my.
Yes, it is Blake Thompson after all, so The truck doesn't really matter that much, does it? Oh, taking a huge risk, rotating those tires in that opposite direction, but landing it on all fours after sort of a side... Oh! Too much rotation on that backflip, though. But he does fill time. He fills the clock.
He makes it look easy.
Oh my gosh, that went so fast. And the scores are going to come in here as Blake flips his truck back. That's going to be 9, 9, and 9.
So, 3 nines.
So that's going to be 27 points plus 10. That is 37. That is the highest score in FBS history so far for a single run. Oh my gosh. Well deserved. Well deserved from Blake Toussaint in Hysteria. Action.
We are back again with Brandon Adam in the Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder. Whoa!
Oh, huge air to start off the triples. That thing.
And he just plants it.
That thing has been getting these drivers more air than I anticipated. Wow. Oh, off the jammers right afterwards with some more nice air.
Already kind of in the runnings to be able to keep up with Blake Thompson's freestyle there.
Ooh!
And whoa! Having a little bit of trouble there.
Those blocky cars can really get you. Oh! Slam! Oh my goodness!
No!
He's just going absolutely wild now with that slam flip into the buses. Oh, another sort of
Twisted.
Oh no, that puts him on the roof. This is putting him in serious danger with only about 30 seconds in on the clock. And the scores are going to come in here right now. That'll be 5, 6. And once we include the time, we receive a total score of 22 points for Brandon Adam.
Putting him behind Blake Thompson by 15 points. Now the future for Brandon Adam is in his own hands to see if he can get a high enough freestyle score to keep him in the runnings. He's going to want to close that gap of 15 points and then some if he wants to have a chance at staying in control as he gets a barrel roll or a corkscrew.
Oh, over the bus stacks as well with a very risky sort of handstand-like maneuver. What was that?
It's all or nothing.
Into some huge air once again. He's still going to take all these risks like last run, which did cost him quite a lot. Into sidewalls using the jammers to get back on all fours on the ground. Well, it does look like he's starting to sort of calm down a little bit with that, the risks. Into a forwards backlip again. Nicely done. Into a moonwalk almost, but sends it right down onto the next obstacles.
Stop me.
He's already farther in with 1 minute on the clock compared to his previous run. He's using quite a lot of this track, getting very good flow here. Oh, almost tried to do a slam flip.
Right out the box. Oh my! What is he doing? No!
No! Once again on the roof for Brandon Adam in Built Ford Tough Blue Thunder. 1 minute and 20 seconds total in time. That's going to be 7.5, 8, and 7 from our judges. We are left with 28.5 points for Brandon's second run. Definitely better, but he's not likely to win against Blake Toussaint this time. Blake Toussaint is headed onto the track for round 2 in Hysteria. Not going for the jammers this time, but for the dirt mound in the corner of the track. A lot of these drivers have been going right for the jammers to start their freestyles. So it's nice to see sort of a change of pace as he takes sort of an angled hit onto the rear end on the ground. What is he going to do next? Oh, another.
He seems to be getting all these ramps off center.
Well, that's something you might want to do. Be sort of flashy to impress the judges a little bit more than just hitting the ramp straight on.
Right. He just wants to get a good freestyle in to secure a... Whoa.
He just sort of throws the front end over the buses. With some nice air over the backflip pod over the white cars. And hitting the odd end of the van stack as well.
Oh my!
man.
I know what this move's setting up
Oh
for.
man, here we go.
Oh no!
Not enough rotation, but
Oh, okay.
the rear end does allow him to roll back onto the ground. 1 minute left on the clock. Oh!
Oh my! And an RII. Ooh, this might be a decision for the officials.
The officials are going to let him keep going. And he already looks excited. He's going to do just that as he goes for a reverse sort of front flip off the backflip pod. Very nice job.
Jackson, you may have been trying to say a reverse backflip.
I see that.
Yes.
All right, 30 seconds left on the clock. So going after the RII doesn't leave that much room.
Oh my! This is gonna be hard.
That's a very hard hit. That's definitely going to keep him from going any further.
Good lord. But he came out here and did what he had to do. I'm pretty sure the judges are going to give him enough points to hold on to that lead with 10 seconds left.
1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock for Blake Thompson round 2. And the judges are going to give the scores of 8, 8, and 8.
If we are looking at 9 points on time, yep, that's a 33.5.
That's 33.5 total points for Blake Thompson in round 2. Yet another very good performance, or should I say an excellent performance, just like last time. Now on to the final match of the night, and therefore the main event. Here comes Toxic Neon, driven by Ike Toussaint. Quite a wild paint scheme here for him, just like all of his other Apex Elite trucks. Here he goes for the backflip pod. Nicely done with the air. Oh, into the jammers, onto the side tires a little bit. Still keeps it up. Going for an angled hit off of the buses. Alright. Pretty tame start once again. And it looks like he's going to go for the forward backflip as well. Lots of rotation. Nicely done. With 30 seconds in, he still has a lot of time to get in some very cool moves and lots of momentum. With a very big hit off of the doubles. The triples, I mean. Going for his first backflip. Into a bit of a corkscrew as he rotates off to the side, but still keeps it going. And once again, off the jammers behind the buses. It looks like he's crab walking quite a lot to keep the truck on all fours. Into a slap wheelie. And just slams it into reverse to keep off. Oh, wait, never mind. Oh, but that puts him on the lid, though. He gets shut off. After trying to sort of moonwalk off of the van stack, he flips it over. And that'll be it for Ike Toussaint, with 1 minute and 10 seconds in on the clock. And now we'll have our scores. That'll be 6, 6.5, and 6.5. And with the score from time, that comes out to 25 points for Ike Toussaint's round 1 performance in Toxic Neon. Going with a pretty nice freestyle, but could not keep it on all fours for too long. For our next freestyle, here comes Tyler Richmond, a rather fearsome opponent for Ike Toussaint, in Outbreak. Just how is he going to perform on this track? Oh, he's going to start for a backflip, it seems. Yep, here he goes. Also very nice rotation and lands it nice and clean. Next up, going on to the jammers. And it looks like he's going to start filling in some obstacle hits now. Oh, except for that barrel roll. Very nice job. You've seen a couple of those from Blake and Brandon. And I think others earlier on. 30 seconds filled so far. Now going off the jammers into his sidewalls. And a kickflip. Very nicely done from Tyler Richmond. Into some more big air. Off of where he did the backflip earlier. Getting a little bit caught up at the walls, though. That could take away some momentum. Next up, using that dirt mound to hit sideways onto the triples. About halfway done now as he's just rolling over the obstacles. Probably looking for another amazing trick to do, and that would be it. A pirouette off of the blue jammer. Tyler Richmond is no stranger to death-defying tricks. Well, not death, but just... Oh! Just a front flip right into the stands! It's going to be an RAI. That just automatically ends the run. Getting awfully close to the fans, dare I say it. 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. That puts him on the lid. As the scores come in, we get 6.5, 6.5, and 6.5. And with time, it comes out to 26.5, which puts him very slightly in the lead against Ike Toussaint so far. But he's going to take on the track again for round 2 very soon. Now on to our round 2 of the main event. TJ Richmond is coming onto the track again in that beautiful Outbreak truck. This really is a great paint job, you guys. Oh, very risky way of hitting that ramp. Oh, he did mean to do that, of course, sending it into a moonwalk right over the incline. Beautiful job, but that was quite a hard hit on the wheelie bar. He might have to tread a little bit more lightly this time if he wants to keep going for the full time. Oh, just T-bones the buses into a nice sky wheelie. 30 seconds in already after only 2 hits, it looks like. Cross threads it again. Crabs it onto the ground, staying on all fours. Yeah, he's just going for all the angled hits to make a nice, fancy-looking freestyle. And he does seem to have the momentum to make up for it so far. Nice air off the triple again. Clears it very cleanly. Now 1 minute in on the clock. Going for another barrel roll. Very nice landing. Into a slam flip to add on to it. Yeah, you can see he's being a little bit more cautious. And that is not a very TJ way to go about a freestyle. Oh, but there you go. A spinning moonwalk on the ground. He's getting closer to filling the time. Again, 30 seconds on the clock. Oh! Rolls it over on the ground in sort of a somersault, I'd like to say. Just right on the floor. It is coming down to the wire once again for TJ here. Oh, he's going for something big, isn't he? Oh. Oh my goodness. Is he going to try and get... I don't even know what to call this, but it works. He's still on the front 2 tires, and that fills time. He's going to set it down right there. Tyler Richmond in Outbreak, filling the clock this time, and giving Ike something to really think about once he heads onto the track here shortly. Now with the scores coming in, it's going to be 8, 7.5, and 8.5. And since he filled the clock, that'll be 10 points for time, resulting in 34 for his second freestyle score. That was just an insane run from Tyler Richmond right there. And this is going to be the last freestyle of the night, and the last chance for Ike Toussaint to hold on to this bracket, driving Toxic Neon as he heads onto the track and needs to think really carefully about what he wants to do to start off. It looks like he's going to go for yet another forwards backflip off of the buses. Yup, he's just gunning for it. Breaks it. Even more rotation than last time. Nicely done. Oh! Bouncing it off the rear tires into another sort of backflip. Another great trick from Ike Toussaint. And it's just going to be flips galore to start the run. Another backflip into a wheelie. Cross threads the end of the triples. So it looks like he's not thinking as fast as he was earlier. He really wants to beat TJ, and he is going to think really hard about it. 30 seconds in, he's going to start using those jammers for some nice air. And rolling over the van stack to combo it up. Taps the wall a little bit. He's making pretty good obstacle usage so far. So he's just going to focus on getting the momentum and using all the obstacles right now. Good idea. Oh, a little bit of an angled hit. Rolls down the vans onto all fours, though. Oh, sidewalls it into the wall from the van stack. That is going to shut him off. We'll see what the officials have to say about that. Is he going to keep going? Yes, he is. They are going to turn his truck back on. He has another chance to think about how he wants to start this next portion of the freestyle. Backing it up into what looks like something huge. We'll see what he does. Oh no! That is just going to tumble the truck over slowly. That'll end the run for Ike Toussaint and Toxic Neon. The scores are 6.5, 6.5, and 6.5. But once time is added, it totals up to 26.5 points for Ike Toussaint in round 2. And that is not going to be enough to beat TJ's 34, which advances him into next week's bracket for the semifinals. Now that the night is complete and all of the drivers have made their mark here in East Rutherford, let's take a look at a couple of the distinguishing achievements of tonight's competition. To take the spotlight a bit closer towards our Division 2, the match of the night for this show was between Ewan Ford and Preston Perez, who gave us some stellar freestyle moments among their tiring efforts to dominate the track, which ultimately resulted in the closest scoring match of the night. And for scoring the highest in a single run, the freestyle of the night goes to Blake Thompson's round 1 performance, as he set a new record for the highest scoring freestyle in all of FBS at 37 points, which boosted his finishing score up to 70.5 for a crushing victory over Brandon Adam.
And with that, we leave you, our beloved viewers, with another night in the history books for this tournament of FBS Championship glory. We will be seeing you next week at Rigs of Rod's Monster Jam Live World Finals 3 venue at Orlando, Florida, where we'll be crowning our Division 1 and Division 2 champions in what we hope to see as a grueling battle for the top. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time. Goodbye and take care.
Oh, yeah.